fellow film buffs and fans of Queen. Welcome to my YouTube channel for a rather special review. This is Kier's Reviews, and this is my review of the new musical that documents a very toned-down version of Freddie Mercury and Queen's story, Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't all that bad, but it wasn't anything too good either. It was a movie that was mostly performances reenacted and only held flashbacks of Queen's actual past. Going in, I was expecting a Queen backstory, as I honestly do not know much about Queen and Freddie Mercury at all. It could have been something spectacular, but I couldn't help but feel disappointed. This does not mean that there weren't aspects of Bohemian Rhapsody that I liked. It definitely had its moments, and I stand by it myself when I say that Rami Malek might get nominated for this, but deep down, I think Ryan Gosling will snatch Best Actor at the Oscars next year.
It goes on forever, 6 bloody minutes.
I pity your wife if you think 6 minutes is forever.
Let's start off with the parts of this movie that were great. Rami Malek singing, and Rami Malek's commitment. Those three factors made up for the reason that I didn't hate this. He learned how to sing pretty well, but I guess Queen didn't want him redoing Freddie Mercury's vocals all the time, as it could have really backfired. However, from the snippets they actually used of him singing, and especially the 30 minutes at the end, was spectacular, and I'm really glad that he was chosen for this role. Without Rami Malek, it wouldn't have worked at all. Also, the reenactments were well done, as Malek seemed to move about like Freddie Mercury did, making this all the more comparable to the actual live performances.
Roger, there's only room in this band for one hysterical queen.
Now, the downsides. The reenactments were well done, but there was way too many of them. That's all it seemed to be, despite a few flashbacks to the formation of Queen and their rise to success, and Freddie Mercury's personal life. I just wanted to see a lead up to their performances, instead of jumping the gun like they did, performing a song in the first 5 minutes, which disregarded the whole story and focusing all on how well they could actually match up the real live performances with their own actors.
So now what?
This is when the operatic section comes in.
Oh, the operatic section, yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody really needed to pick up the pace. Even though Rami Malek was incredible, and it was nice to see at least some good scenes, the whole feel to it did not work. Plain boring in parts, a little elevated excitement in others, and a whole film of nicely done performances made up for a very disappointing biopic. The thing about it was that it showed both Rami Malek and Lucy Boynton, whom you might recognise from Sing Street, were at the height of their acting appreciations in this movie. Their off-screen chemistry conveyed to this film, as they are in fact dating behind the scenes. Their chemistry just worked, and really, that's anything that was memorable if you're going to take anything away from Bohemian Rhapsody at all.
How was that?
Higher.
Can you go a bit higher?
If I go any higher, only dogs will hear me.
Try. Higher.
Jesus, how many more Galileos do you want?
Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely a disappointing watch, but that does not mean that the performances from both Lucy Boynton and Rami Malek should be discarded. There were sections of the film that didn't work and were extremely toned down, but the music and Rami Malek's portrayal of Freddie Mercury worked in every way, which didn't ultimately end up bringing this whole movie down. I don't exactly know how to feel about Bohemian Rhapsody at the moment, but I do know what score I'll give it, and that's a 6 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think of Bohemian Rhapsody? If you like what you're seeing here and you want to see even more, check out my channel and be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of Halloween and Bad Times at the Royale. As always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you may like to watch. This has been Kier's Reviews, signing off for now.